Good morning, Year 4. It's Wednesday, and this is week 7, lesson 3, quadrilaterals. Okay, and a lot of this will be new to you. This is one lesson I really wish that we could do in the classroom together. So we're all going to do the best that we can using the video technology. Okay, so what is a quadrilateral? All right, a quadrilateral is any shape that has 4 sides made up of 4 straight lines. Okay, so just have a go at drawing lots of different quadrilaterals, okay, shapes that have 4 sides, all right, as you can. See how kind of different you can make them look. As long as they've got 4 sides and they are made of straight lines, then it is a quadrilateral. So see if you can do 5 and make them look different. Okay, so these are my random 5 quadrilaterals that I have drawn. There are lots of others that could appear here, but as long as it's got 4 sides and it's made by straight lines, okay, it is a quadrilateral. All right, and a lot of our quadrilaterals are made by using parallel lines. So it's quite important that we understand what parallel lines are. Not all of them are made by using parallel lines, but a lot of them are, and it helps us to identify what type of quadrilateral it is. Okay, so parallel lines are straight lines that always stay the same distance apart. Okay, so they never start to come closer together. So if I draw like that, and you will often see that they are marked by little arrows. Okay, so those little arrows indicate that those lines are parallel. Okay, so if I draw, let's draw some others here. Alright, I'm using the numbers on my ruler to help me. Now you might think that those lines are not parallel because they're not the same length, but they are parallel because they are equal distance apart. They don't have to be the same length. They just need to stay the same distance apart. Okay, so they can look quite different in terms of their length, but as long as they stay equal distance apart, then the lines are actually parallel. If they continued up the page, they would never come closer together. They would always stay that distance apart. Okay, so now we're going to start to actually use our understanding of what parallel lines are to start to identify different quadrilaterals, different shapes that have 4 sides made using straight lines. Okay, so this word parallelograms, okay, is a shape that has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Now, the hard thing about this is that some of the shapes you already know are parallelograms. Okay, so I'm going to draw different types of parallelograms, okay, and then I'm gonna go through and show you where the parallel sides are. Right, so here are examples of parallelograms, and you will see that some of those shapes you already recognize. Okay, so let's start with this one. Okay, parallel lines are often marked on shapes by these small arrows, and I've drawn the edges of the shapes in different colours to try and show you that the edges are parallel. Okay, so I'll just whip through and show that the edges are parallel to one another. Okay, and then also to begin to identify that in this shape all the edges, this little black line means all the edges are the same. Okay, length in this shape as well, all the edges are the same length. Okay, but in these two, this one and this one, you can see then not the same length. So that one and that one are the same, and then I put two lines on this side and two lines on that side to show that they are the same, and that one and that one are the same, and then I put two little lines on that side and two little lines on that side to show that they're the same length. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is just quickly identify the angles that are formed in the shapes. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4 right angles of 90 degrees. This shape has 4 right angles of 90 degrees. Okay, this angle is acute and the same size as that one. Opposite angles are equal. This angle is obtuse and opposite angles are equal. Same thing again. This angle is obtuse and the same size as that one. And that angle is acute and the same size as that one. Okay. So now what I've done is label all the names of the quadrilaterals with their specific properties. Okay, so these four are all types of parallelograms. It's just that a square is a special parallelogram because all of the sides of the shape are equal and all the angles are 90 degrees. A rectangle is a special parallelogram because it has, like all parallelograms, two pairs of parallel sides. Okay, and a rectangle is a shape where it's made of all the angles are 90 degrees, but the opposite sides are the same length, but they're not all the same length. Okay. Now, this is my favourite quadrilateral because it's called a rhombus and it's like a square that's been given a push. So all of the sides are the same length, but unlike the square, the angles are not right angles. So if the sides are the same length, but the angles are not right angles, then it's a rhombus. And if it looks a bit like a rectangle that's been given a push, okay, to one side, then it just is a parallelogram, okay. It's got two pairs, 1, 2, okay, there's the two parallel lines on here, and 1, 2 parallel lines there, and that just is an example of a parallelogram. All right. Okay, now we're going to look at the quadrilaterals, the shapes with four sides that are made using straight lines that are not parallelograms. Okay, so a parallelogram has to have two pairs of parallel lines. Okay, so now this is the shape that I like the least. Okay, because these are all trapeziums. All right, so trapeziums. All right, or if there's just one of them, let's write it like that. Okay, trapeze. All right, they're all trapeziums, and for a quadrilateral to be a trapezium, it has to have one pair of parallel lines. Oh, I'm going around just doing one of them, aren't I? Okay. And you can see in each trapezium, the other lines are converging or moving, and the distance between them changes. Okay, it either increases or decreases, so it means the lines are not parallel. So it just has one pair of parallel lines. All right, so have a look. Okay, because they are all trapeziums, and I don't like this shape because it can look so different, but it's still a trapezium. And our last quadrilateral that we're going to look at is called a kite, and I've drawn 3 different kites, so you can see that they are the same type of shape, but they can look a bit different. What makes a kite is that it has no parallel lines at all. That line is the same length as that line. Okay, they call them adjacent sides. This line is not the same length as that one, so I have to give it 2 little marks. Alright, so the adjacent lines, the lines that join together, okay, are the same length. So it'll be that one and 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 that one. That one is the same length as that one, the same length as that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Okay, so that is our kite, and our kite is not a type of parallelogram because a parallelogram must have 2 sets of parallel lines. Okay, so now what I want you to do is watch the video on espresso, okay, because it is good, and then you can crack on with the quadrilaterals sheet for today. Keep coming back to the videos if you need to see the shapes again. All right, have fun and work hard.